hot topics, baby.
I am really him.
We gotta learn to put the kids first.
I am really him. I am really that dude. I am.
Hollywood K.
Yes, sir. I'm back.
What's up with it, man?
Happy New Year.
Man, always awesome to have you in, man. And we was chopping up a little earlier about me being American, and you said you was like African American or something.
Oh, no. I never portrayed myself as an African American, man. I'm American first. You know what I'm saying? I'm truly American. I can remember they asked me about African American when I was sitting renewing my gun card, buy some gun. So, you know, they got the categories of Native, all that, Black, all that. I just told them I'm American. So they let me know in society that, you know, you can be American. They didn't flag me or nothing. They sent me my gun cards and everything on the representation of America. I'm American first.
Oh, yes, sir. What are your thoughts about today's black family? Like, is the black family doomed or can it grow from your experience?
Yeah, it's the black family basically, I want to say it's non-existent, man. We still got some men that's trying to hold a family together. And what you consist of a family? What do you consist of a family? A man and a woman. You know, we got these categories going on. You know, they didn't just eliminate really the man out the house. You know, so far as I didn't see, you know, I'm guilty of it. I never had a family. You know, had men and women, married none. So I don't even know what a family is. You know what I'm saying?
You don't know what a family is.
Really don't know what a family is. I know what having a strong mother is. You know, but I never had a man in my prison to be part of a family. And I never created my own family. Produced a child, but never created a family.
At this point of your life, how would you handle being called the N-bomb by a white?
What's that? Oh, no, what? It's supposed to be offensive? As long as it don't get physical, it's not really nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? I just move around. You know, who defines what the N-word is a bad word? You know, N-word, this is what it is. You make it what it is. We call each other N's all day. As long as you're in physical contact with me, I don't care what you say. You know, you got the right to your opinion to say what you want to say. We got that big old great thing called the freedom of speech. That's one of the best things that we have. You know, N-word don't really bother me. You know, it is what it is.
So you wouldn't crash out?
Nah, it was crash out. You can't trick my life at 50. You know, I ain't crashing out over nothing like that. We got bigger issues going on in my community. We call each other N's all day. We greet each other then. We take pride in it. We promote it. It's part of our culture. You know, so why can't they fit in? They listen to our rap music and they buy it. So now what? They the biggest producer of the N-word and they love it. So why wouldn't I love it? So it ain't offensive to me.
What's your opinion on Brother Kevin Samuel's teachings?
Oh, Kevin Samuel was a great man. You know, the only thing bad about Kevin, he passed away. You know, he was an awesome man. He tried to give us a definition of things that we didn't see. A lot of us being as a lack of knowledge. You know, the women have fell to the wayside. You know, they before the man now. And the society has pushed them over the men. But everything Kevin Sanders was giving, it's here now. You know, you got women out here begging for men now. I mean, they literally begging. But you got to think about it. It's what? Astronomical number of men to women. You know what I'm saying? You take these other guys, you know, the sideways guys, you know, the prison guys, took them out of society. So we don't have too many men left. So if you being a man, if you're a single man, you get the pick of the litter. And I really do think the man is the choice. You know, the man has the right. We choose. We the one married. I ain't never heard no woman go propose to a man. Men, we produce. You know what I'm saying? Men, we produce. You can't produce a baby without a man. I was talking about the woman can have a baby, but you got to need the man. It's basically, it's a yin-yang balance. But Kevin Sanders was a great man. He said he was positive. But I see on this internet, you can't be positive. Positivity gets you negativity, and I don't get that. You know, they slaughtered the man. We got to the point where we celebrate a man's death. How you celebrate a man's death? And it's crazy, it's our own people that did it, but they not my people. Because I don't have to have the same opinion and thought that just to cut you off as a person. You can't say that man was wrong. He entitled to his opinion, but everything he was saying was facts. You know, Kevin Sanders never told a lie that I ever seen, and I salute him, you know. Rest in peace, Kevin Sanders, the Godfather.
Awesome. Flip that. What are your thoughts on Minister Jap teachings?
Oh, the Jap, I love the guy that's out of, you know, Chicago. I don't believe in everything you believe in, but, you know, he talk a lot. You know, a lot of these YouTubers, you know what I'm saying, they do what they do, man. They come out based on factual. You know, some of it's AI generated. AI generated is very dangerous. You know, but when I see these guys talk, they talk about based what's going on in the black community. But we can see that the dysfunction and the disruption of the human, that everybody basically allocate what's going on with the blacks and people starting to follow. I mean, it's all through society now. It's a problem. it's worldwide now. You know, it's and Jack, like I said, I love him. He a great entertainer. You know what I'm saying? I like him. You know, he talk facts, but people don't like facts no more, man. Facts is not what it is. It's all about your opinions and your feelings.
Awesome. Now, how do you view Dr. Umar Johnson's YouTube content?
Umar the worst form of a slug and a maggot that we got in our black community. But he do what he do best. You know, he prey on the women because the men don't follow it. You know, if you can't see a setup and a robbery, he really robbing people without a gun. You know, he really, all he do is fix his hair up. He talk all this black ideology in Africa, but I ain't seen him go back to Africa yet. You know, he's still there living off the American dollar. You know, Umar, he been a scam from day one. You know, you gotta recognize the scam. Oh, beautiful woman, oh, queen. Man, everybody ain't no queen if everybody's a queen, man. Who the president? You gotta have peasants around here. Ain't no king. You can't be a king if you rule over nothing. But you know, Umar, man, he a joke. He a joke. I like him though, but he a joke. He a comedian. I really think he a comedian. He doing skits like what the country Wayne now. He ain't no different. Yeah. I like Umar. Well, I like him, but I know he a fraud.
So the school thing, do you think do you think that's a fraud?
Yeah, it's a fraud. Shit, you only go to school, 12 years out of life, throw with a couple of daycare and that with this 15 years. Shit, Umar been running this scam since 09. Now you add the numbers up. It ain't hard. You know, man, if you got a bunch of food gonna follow you, I'm gonna get in. I wish if I ain't have morals, shit, I'd be with Umar, cause a sucker is a sucker. And Umar, who would let that man teach them? You know, the Django stick. You know, every time you see him, he's doing nothing about the school. He shows you school. I go get you a abandoned building. We got plenty of them in East St. Louis. East St. Louis, man, I get you a abandoned building going out talking about what I'm gonna do for the kids. And shit, from what I'm looking at and researching on YouTube, might not be facts. Allegedly, he don't even take her as own kid. Shit.
Awesome. Controversial going around online with Pastor Jamal Bryant's wife dress. What's your thoughts on that?
Jamal Bryant, I put him in the category with Umar Johnson. He's just another, it's crazy that, last time I checked, pimping came with the man directing the woman what to do. In this instant, Jamal Bryant, hey, I want to go down there to his church. Next time I touch down the line, I got to go see Jamal because I like his teachings. When you get a whole group of women to follow you for humiliating, disrespecting your wife, and you come on TV and say, I bought the dress. Last time I checked, man, now you put the hoes in front of the women. You got more hoes, problem dancing and praising the church, and they thanked them for it. Then at the end of the day, I think you got a nice little offering behind it. But then, you have people supporting this. You done took my woman couldn't do it. And I don't think you'll let your woman do it. I don't think the average man will let his woman come out there dressed like that. I understand you're a woman of quote unquote faith. But then, this man, he rewrote scripture just to justify what he did. Man, if you don't know a sucker and a clown and you don't know a scammer, man, something wrong with you. But Jamal Bryant, hats off, man. Pimp on. Keep it pimping, baby.
So what's your opinion on the 2025 club shooting in Centerville, Illinois, where we at now, that happened when the club was actually open illegally?
Okay, I ain't know nothing about being open illegal. I didn't even know it was there. You know what I'm saying? My grandmama's house right across the street from the shooting, you know what I'm saying? From what I know, I don't get it. How you gonna celebrate Christmas, then you go out and shit, damn near die. You supposed to be home with your kids, going over to prayers, you wait till the next day to make your baby ride the bike. But illegal, just in the community, you basically do what you want to do when you're around, you ain't governed right, people. So there's no way. Like I said, I've been standing around here, I go past it every day, going back and forth, checking on my property and everything. I never knew it was a club. I just thought it was people there, event center. But man, it's sad. It's a sad situation. But within that, like I said, my grandmother's house right across the street from it. I mean, literally right across the street. They out there shooting them guns recklessly. They could have hit somebody in my family in there. And how we're gonna do is do the kumbaya, fly the balloon. But and the crazy thing is, my father and my uncle stayed there. If one of them would have got hit, it was just been what's the name? It would have been no problem. But if it was a woman or child in here, we would have had over uprising. We supposed to uprising against anything that's going wrong. Illegal is illegal, man. It ain't no different than, what's going on in Minnesota. Everything illegal, man. Ride out, man. It's a point in your life where I'm old enough and I don't understand it. I'm out that era where hanging out in the club doing the street, which I had a great run with it. But like I say, man, it's sad situation, man. We gotta do better. We gotta do better in governing our people and making sure we got all the license. Cause I caught hell when I had my license and I was legit. So it is what it is. You know what it is. It's all about who you know.
Awesome. Now, at the beginning of this YouTube run I've been starting, you always said F the streets, it's fake. So my question to you is, they got the F the streets movement trending online. And how you feel about that, knowing you've been talking about this for a long time?
Man, we was tricked. I never understood it. We was tricked. I was basically indoctrinated in it. Cause I came up, I knew life before rap. So I'm gonna go back to what you asked me earlier about the family. I remember the family, man, every weekend we was families. I mean, just a whole community of families, we all being apart. Back in the day when I was coming up, parents and everybody, they didn't work on the weekend. But like I say, it's crazy that you asked me that question, little bro. I mean, the streets not real, man. Come on, man. You can go in any police department, ask any federal agent, man, they'll tell you, man, there's no such thing as no street. What is streets? You don't own nothing. You don't even own your property. You don't even own your word this world in society now. But the streets, man, the street ain't about a bunch of clowns out there. But you got guys my age, 50 and under, what I'm talking about? I'm trying to compete with a 22-year-old about being street. What's real? Real is getting up taking care of your family. Real is getting up tying your boots up every day. Real is out there, but y'all fight for the wrong thing. I don't hear y'all fighting about no taxes. I don't hear y'all fighting about these kids. What about the streets? We had what? At least 5, 6 kids got shot in coke. I ain't seen not one protest. I haven't seen nobody come on TV, sit on the internet or nothing. They more worried about the guy who got killed than the guy who killed the guy, man. There ain't nobody said nothing about the kids. It's all about the kids, man. And the kids emulate what they see. If you got a bunch of bullshit going on in your household, these kids gonna rock with it. You got a bunch of clowns getting up out of jail glorifying. I can't glorify going to jail. I'm not about this street. You know what I'm saying? I lived it and I know it was fake. I had a bunch of my homeboys. I came up in that 94 crime bill. I seen what the streets did. I seen what crime did. Crime put a bunch of brothers in jail. You know what I'm saying? Man, ain't no such thing as no mass incarceration. When you want to talk about some mass incarceration, every time I ever seen somebody, this me, what I seen. I don't know what nobody else, but you won't see what you see no more. Every time somebody had an interaction with the police and the shooting so happened to happen, what they was doing, they was resisting. If you wrong, you wrong. Hold yourself accountable. The streets is a joke. You know what I'm saying? I see these clowns. All you gotta do is go to court Monday morning, you'll see a bunch of them clowns in there copping out. Letting another, my fault. Oh man, it's the white man problem. But you let that white man tell you lock yourself up, but you forgot you committed a crime against another brother. But we street, we real. Then we go up in that act just like monkeys. How the hell you go to prison, you under control of 5 or 10 white men, and you know how to act right? You find God. You start loving your kids. You don't even know your kid's birthday, but you love them. So that's what it is. Fuck them streets. I mean, skip them streets, whatever it is. The streets ain't about nothing. Streets a joke. There's clowns in the streets. Man, I love the circus.
Okay, since we talking about law enforcement, man, I got a high respect for law enforcement, man. Not the bad ones, but majority I've came across, man, they've been really stand up, square business officers. So I want to ask you this, man. What's your opinion on the law enforcement agents who stood around waiting to take action against that one shooter? You remember that in the elementary school?
Oh yeah.
In Uvalde, Texas, man. They left 19 children. It was going on for like 77 minutes and left 19 children killed and two teachers.
Let me tell you something, man. About the police, man. If we didn't have police, it'd be crazy around here. You need the police. Police, let me tell you something. You can see a police walk up and disperse a crowd by itself. You know what I'm saying? It's authoritarian of just seeing the police. Man, you got to be brave to be a police, man. Police, people forget these officers have family too. Like I got involved with this, this guns and hoses. When you get to meet these guys, man, they just like us, man. All they trying to do is I have never met a police, me personally, have never met a police who want to take his gun out of his holster, man. And for them to go down in that violence, it take a real hero to go up and do that. Because everybody can't just take no gunfire. I don't know what I do in that situation. But sometimes you got to be brave, no matter how scared you are. And every day them police put that badge on, man, they become a target. And it's scary. You know, I got friends, I got family, I got everybody. That law enforcement, man, it's a dangerous job. It's one of the most dangerous jobs in the world. You know, you got people hate you. Like I was listening on, I was at a podcast, this guy Odie made a comment about how the firemen are praised. You know, on the police. Police can run in a house and get a kid or save a whole family from a fire. And they hate him. But a fireman going there, they're going to give him the red ribbon, the key to the street, to the city, you know what I'm saying? But like I say, hey, I tell you, I take my hat off to police officer, man. It's a hell of a job. It's a hell of a job. You know, I even thought about, you know, applying for ICE. Because, you know, hey, I hate that I ain't go to the military. I once tried to get on the police force in St. Louis, man. I was gonna be a police officer.
Okay, man. So you brave enough to be a police officer.
Oh yeah, I have no reason.
So in the Uvalde, Texas situation though, only one active shooter where kids was at. You think you would engage in that way quicker?
You know, man, you gotta look when kids involved. You put kids first. You know, you can be out in the streets. You can see something going on with a kid. You see it happen every day. Guys that sacrifice his life to save a child, not even his own child, not knowing if he's gonna make it back to his child. You know, man, you don't have no action. Some things just, you know, it's just a godly act. It just come out in you. You know, it's you know, for you, don't nobody ever want to see a kid hurt, especially when you got your own kids.
So you would have ran up in there then. So
you ain't got no choice but to run up in there. I ain't got no choice.
You know, a lot of them officers was there that whole time, like for a long time, and didn't do nothing. While 19 people was getting.
No. Calvinists don't have no face.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some people walk around into it. Once you tell the face of danger, it is what it is. You know, don't nobody want to fight, and don't nobody want to die, but everybody want to be the hero.
Okay then. I know you're a person who loves to spend cash, you know, rather than swipe your credit card or debit card. What's your thoughts on a cashless society?
I think cash society is bull crap because you got to think when people have your cash, like I had to tell a guy one day, you know, at the bank, he's like, well, you know, Kendrick, you can go cash. I said, why would I go cash? I'm gonna give you my cash, you're gonna give me some numbers. I don't know if them numbers right. He used to manipulate his numbers. Human error, you know what I'm saying? I believe in cash, because once I give you my cash in my hand, I expect the same amount to come back when I give my change. But if somebody got cash, they can supersede your money. Just imagine we have like the tornado they had in St. Louis. ATMs go down. You know, you got computer hacks, fraud happen every day, all day. You know, but a careless side, that means somebody run your money. They control your money. You know, you can be on the phone, like I said, I was down in Texas, right? You know, I'm one of them cash guys. You know, I go Texas, I'm trying to get through the airport. I need to get me a rental car. I need to get me a hotel. But this is cashless. Everything is cashless down there. So like I said, I never had a credit card in my life, man. I'm 50 years old. I never had a credit card. I had to get a damn debit card just so I can be able to purchase things and move around now. But it's like it's been forced on us. But ain't nothing like cash, you know, ain't nothing like that, you know, you got it buried in the ground, that old dirty mattress or that magic shoebox. You know, you can touch your money. But when somebody got your cash, can't touch your money, I can take your phone, it's mine. You have nothing. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in that. I'm hoping I'll be gone before it go into full effect. You know, they took pennies out of circulation now. So people not even paying attention. Every time you go somewhere, I see people using their phone. You know what I'm saying? And it's just me. I don't move with trends. I don't move with fads. I'm like, hold up, man. I ain't giving you my cash. You give me some numbers. I know them numbers right. You know, I still get paper checks at work. And they like, man, why you? I don't need no direct deposit home, boy. I need this money to be right. Because if it ain't right, I'm coming back and argue with you. Because I need that cash. I like touching it. I fell in love from the first time I seen it, baby.
Man, awesome. Since we talking about stuff online, can you name for me one distraction that keeps many people occupied and not focused on like important issues in their own life? The distractions.
It's the greatest distraction that we got going on in America is racism. They talking about racism. Racism can go 1,000 ways. You racist because you don't like our talk. You racist because you quote unquote you don't like our way. Why would I impede myself on being somewhere that you don't want me to be? You know, that's one of the biggest distractions. I mean, it's bullshit. You know, right? I mean, it is, man. That's one of the biggest. As long as you keep the people divided, you know, you try to tell me, you know, I grew up with diversity. I grew up with diversity my whole life. I grew up with black and white. You know, I don't know no other Latinos. I don't know Africans. I don't know what's the name. I just grew up in a black and white society. But it never affected me. Racism ain't never affected me. Can't no man stand on top of me. You know what I'm saying? I'm my own man. And if we got a problem, we can handle it like that. And I'm not a tough guy, but I do know how to defend myself. But I think racism, they push it. Every time you see it, everything gotta be black and white now. But why we don't never have no problem with the Mexicans and the whites? Why you never have no problem with the Asians and the Arabs? You know, it's just a black and a white thing. And I mean, they pushing it. It make a lot of money. You know, it make a lot of money. It's all about that bread at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. Okay, in local news, you had a Washington Park police officer being exposed by, I guess, a young lady or whatever or whatnot. Can you talk about the dangers?
That's a bitter woman. That's a bitter woman problem. You know, that's between him and his man. You know, social media is not no place to handle your personal business. But that's the only way some people know how to vent. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't know how to reserve, you know, their emotions and their feelings. They just feel like they got exposed. And you can't expose nobody. You are who you are, man. You can't expose me. Once you say something about me, truth, facts, lie, whatever it is, I'm gonna tell you, I'm so bold and arrogant. I say, yeah, I did it. Now what? It's all about the now what. You said this about this man, now what? You just gonna be with this man, what's gonna go on, what you gonna do about it, what you gonna talk about it, people gonna laugh at you. Internet undefeated. I don't wanna deal with the internet. You say something about me, the best thing I'm gonna do is I ain't gonna acknowledge it. But I'm gonna tell you, you know, it's funny. But if you ain't, if that's not true about you, man, you gotta sit within self, man. You know who you are as a person. And your character is your paycheck. Don't ever forget that. If you got a bullshit ass character, it's gonna come out. You know what I'm saying? If the guys, you know, don't give that 100 salute, you know, but here being a police officer, he in a position of power. You know, you over people. You know, they talking about corruption, they talking about everything. That's just too much pillow talking for me. You know, you let somebody let you go as now, man, you know, I guess, hey, he just talk too much. You know, you don't talk too much, man. I once had an agent tell me before, he said, Kendrick, be careful what you say, and most definitely be careful who you say it to. And that opened my eyes up. He basically told me, brother, everybody snitch. That's what he told me. In them words, you can read between the lines. So with that officer, man, good luck to him, baby. But look at here, man, if you did it, dog, somebody can come see you. You know what I'm saying?
What advice do you have for him?
I have advice for him, man, that you better be accountable. My advice is don't say nothing. Because trust me, somebody gonna be come see you in a minute. And these women do things outside of feeling this fight. You know what I'm saying? I never know what's going on a woman end. She might have been asking for help, begging out for help. But that officer, what they say, everything you do in the dark should come to light. And that it's coming to light, and his ass in trouble. For what I see.
Awesome, man. Let's skip around right quick. So back when you were young, we was having this conversation earlier about the DJ, about the local DJ, man. How big was the local DJ around him when you were young?
Oh, the DJs, man. The DJs was the first celebrities. You know, the DJs had the women, you know, that some of them can be bona fide haters. They never got questioned. They had the gang members on their side. They had the police. They had the politician. You know, the DJ was the man. You know, you couldn't touch a DJ. A DJ had more pull than the gang leader. You know, you go to old, you know, you go to what we gonna say, a block party or something, or to a club, the DJ say he taking his shit, you know, he taking his shit, gonna close down. Nah, dog, you can't leave like that. The DJ really, he was the puppeteer back in the day, because everybody loved to have fun. You know, the DJ, he keep it right. You know, a DJ can bring you out a moment, man, at your worst feeling. You know, if you had a death in your family, your partners died, you know, you play some of the songs, man, and bring you back reality, man. A DJ, man, I love the DJ. I love the DJ. They the first superstar that, you know, the great Lonnie B, R.I.P. to him. You know, DJ Oatmeal still doing his thing. I know them guys first. You know, so, man, I love a DJ, man. I'm with the DJ. You know, DJ can stand strong against any gang and win without no problem, because he got the police and everybody behind.
Awesome. Okay, so let me ask you this. If you were the mayor of Cahokia Heights, Illinois right now, what would you focus on?
The people, man. You got to focus on the people in Cahokia. You know, Cahokia Heights, you know, it's basically a unified community between Allerton, Centerville, and Cahokia Heights. But, you know, we still stay in Centerville. You know, Centerville was more like a family. Centerville just like everything. So they grouped us in with Cahokia. They say it was about the money, but the people, I think the people down here, they in distress, man. It's a lot going on. We had a lot of shooting with kids down here. You know, they always talking about the corruption. Well, I don't talk about corruption. I really can't get into politics because I'm not political like that. You know, I lean both ways, you know. I'm just for righteous. If you righteous, you righteous. And one thing I've seen with a lot of these politicians nationwide, not just Cahokia, you know, everybody getting off to enrich themselves. They forget about the people. You know, like I say, even with these kids, man, I have not seen not one politician come out, anybody in the political field, anybody in power or management, they haven't even came out and talk about these kids getting shot. I think the Greystone alone, they got 3 shot this year. And I haven't seen nobody put no posts up, no challenge up. You know, it's amazing, it's sickening and sad. You know, the people, they in doubt. Now they got something going on with a contract out there with the teachers. You know, they not even get support from their community. You know, but a lot of these people lack knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Everybody go off the internet. Anything on the internet is real now. You know what I'm saying? Anything on the internet is real. And everybody pick and choose who they follow. But these people right now, they being led the wrong way. I was led the wrong way when I was young. But when you wake up and step back, you look and see, some of these people don't mean no good. It's all about self.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So you in that 50 age, right? That age group now, man.
Great golden age.
Are you going bald?
Nah, I ain't going bald. You know, my hair still grow. You know what I'm saying? I still get the erection. You know what I'm saying? I ain't turned over to the blue pills yet. I still love. You know, I'm cognizant in my thinking. You know, all that. You know, I'm a great 50-year-old. I'm one of the 50-year-olds you need to talk to, because I lived it.
So when that time come, would you try to man unit out?
Man unit out. You know, it's one of them new words that guy like you invented that I never heard of. It ain't no different than narcissistic, misogynist. You know, I was called a misogynist one before. I ain't know what I thought it was about going to a massage parlor. And I don't know what a man unit is. I don't know if it's a dildo from the front or the back. You know, I don't know what y'all do with that type shit. You know, I just go to the honey pack and some Grey Goose. You know what I'm saying? But
well, the man unit is like basically when you going bald or something, and then they
okay.
They put the thing
I thought it was something sexual
and lined it up.
I can't go bald. I got a thinking cap on. You know, I'm one of them special type kids. I got a helmet on with a chin square with her on top of it. I can do it like that. I ain't gonna use my shit. A toupee ain't went out of style yet. I just go bald. You know what I'm saying? I think I've been a handsome bald head, man. I got a couple of knots and stitches from when I was young, but I'll take it.
Okay then. My brother Shaq had a question, man. He asked me if Michael Jordan could have played 23 seasons like LeBron James, what would his stats look like?
Man, I'm gonna give Michael Jordan the greatest, but you know, it's like all things, everything about stats now. You know, Mike, he probably would have broken down. He probably wouldn't have lasted like LeBron. He probably wouldn't have had the stats LeBron had, because people hated Mike. They hated him. You know what I mean? They hated him. You know, when you the greatest and you the best at anything, people hate you. You know, they hate you. I mean, but you know, behind the hate come love. You know what I'm saying? But Michael Jordan, in my time that I seen, I think he would have been the greatest. He still is the greatest, because I seen him change the whole game, how it evolved around him. But you know, that thing with LeBron a great man. You know, I like him. You know, he got the ways that I don't support, but that's it. I don't mean I don't gotta like him because I don't believe in everything he believe in. But LeBron was a hell of a basketball player. He accomplished things that probably would never see again.
Is it something that he believe in that you don't believe in? Because I'm not understanding.
You know, LeBron more or less leaned to the left. You know, he hang out them other type guys. You know, he got his right to do that. You know, but you know, him being a masculine man, you know, it's what they call, it's called butt breaking. And I think he been broke. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know, if that's what he do, that's what he do. But LeBron, you know, in my eye, I see him as a man. But you know, you don't know what people do behind the door. You know, they talk about Diddy. He might have been them Diddy boys. I don't know. You know, Diddy was a great man. In my eye, he did a lot for the black community. He did a lot.
What did he do?
Diddy put music on the map. Diddy was the first entertainer, dancing live, all that. You know what I'm saying? That was Diddy. Diddy was the first hype man. Cause nobody out hype Diddy. Diddy still who he is. Diddy had motherfucker walk down the street for cheesecake in the cold just to tell him he gonna give him a rap contract, and he didn't give him nothing. Now they come and go against him. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he bent them over. What was the deal with it? Now everybody turned on Diddy, but last time I checked, everybody's willing to participate in what Diddy was doing. So he shouldn't be sitting there by himself. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was personal. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Diddy guy. You know what I'm saying? The Kills, you know, they turned on Kills. You know, now everything started to come out. You know, they put a lie out here on you and everybody run with it. With no truth, no basis, no facts, no evidence, they just lie on. When you're dealing with grown people, as long as ain't no kids involved, you willing to participate, whatever you do, you willing to participate. Your kinks is your kinks. So
you would have beef with a Diddy or a Kelly if they if truth came out that they did mess with kids.
Oh yeah, I only have one punishment for them. One punishment for them.
What would that be?
You know the punishment is, man. It's only one punishment you can have for a man that mess with a kid. You know, I don't believe in no reform, because every time you see that reoffend, You know what I'm saying? But when they go up in there with what they want to like and what they love, they don't even try to be playing them games up in there. They probably got a whole PC for them up in there. Because I'm quite sure you got a lot of people that disagree with it. You know, but Diddy and Kelly they shouldn't have no option to be next to your kid if you're a man raising your kid. You teach your daughters how to identify it, even your boys, if you want to call them that. You can't let no man get close to your kids like that. Like I told you once before in one of my private videos, look at here, don't no man and no kids keep no secret. And if you got all these people around you, how y'all gonna blame them? People's watching. What the hell you think? Come on, man, we got perverts getting caught every day. Every day. And like I say, I'm a champion for that. They get what they deserve. I don't think the law harsh enough for it. That's what we need to be out there fighting for. Because there ain't no statute of limitation on that, man. If you come out, be scared. If you got violated by another man, that's on you. People scared about it. But me and my incident, I wouldn't. I could probably be vengeful with mine. I'd be that's tactical with it. But like I say, Diddy and R. Kelly, we put them too high on a pedestal in life. It's a society of people. We did that. They did. They ain't nothing but men. They nothing but men. We gave them the stats to do that. You know what I'm saying? They ain't nothing but a man. Diddy ain't no different than me and you and the cameraman. He no different. We just give him that status like that. Kelly ain't. These entertainers, man. You get entertainers. These people think entertainers are they God. People worship entertaining. You know, the thing about, like I said, you came to Jamal, you got 15,000 women here praising this man for slutting out this woman and getting my offering on it. What the hell? Why wouldn't I join this man's church? I need that game. It ain't no different than real estate and Cash App and Bitcoin, whatever. I need some of that because it's a clown show. But they didn't kill it, man. It is what it is. They man, I hope it's not true. But like I said, I don't believe everything I see on the internet. I don't. I truly don't.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, so 2002, 2003 Lakers. How they match up versus the 2018, 2019 Golden State Warriors?
Ooh, the Lakers.
Kobe, Shaq.
Man, nah, man.
How they look?
Once again, man, I ain't even on that basketball, man. Man, I don't know, though. I throw the Bulls in there. I'm taking the Bulls. I got to see the Bulls. I got to see the Bulls. I don't care about that. You know, I wasn't no big Kobe fan. I wasn't no big Shaq fan. They great players. Hey, we never seen nobody like Stephen Curry. You know, we probably never see somebody like him. We never seen a Kobe. You know, Shaq, he just bogged out. But you know what I'm saying? I don't think it'll be a great match because I think Golden State will run it. This is the way they is. Golden State will run it. Because Golden State, back in the day, they were shooting threes like that. They everything ran through Shaq and Kobe. Right now, you know, Golden State, they had motherfuckers shooting out the gym. You know what I'm saying? That was something different. That was something different, bro.
Okay, so the two big internet guys, man, Corey Holcomb and Anton Daniels. You think that's staged?
It could be.
Almost about to fight.
It could be. But I think within that, it got personal. You know, it's personal. You know, there's certain things you can't say to certain men. You got people come from different backgrounds. You know, then you know we still got the city thing. You know, you still got the Detroit thing. You still got the Chicago thing. You know, Corey standing on Chicago. You know, Anton standing on Detroit. You know, Anton moved different than Corey moved. You know, Corey more or less in your face. Anton more or less delivered to you. You know, and within that situation, they handled it like men. You know what I'm saying? I hope they get back together. They what's the name? I mean, they handled like men. They ain't come to blows. If they wanted to fight, they could have fight. When Corey got up in that man's face, you had all the opportunity right then and there. You know, ain't no security guard gonna stop it. If we're gonna do. We can sit there and go mouth boxing all day. I done seen brothers plenty of time. They ain't say no word. They just get it. It's in. They know what they got up on each other. But it's more or less personal. More or less that was personal. I mean, I don't know. You know, Anton was spitting game. Corey was spitting his game. It was like a Democrat against a Republican. You know, when you black, you can't be no Republican. I don't give a damn what you got going on. If you telling the truth, if you got facts, if you all this. But once you when that Democrat and you a slave, like I tell everybody, I would go up against any physical slave any day versus a mental slave. And I believe, you know, me, just in my own opinion, Democrats more or less on the feminine side with the women. You know, I'm a conservative guy. You know, I rock like that. You know, I believe in the family first. And I believe in the man run the household, God, men, women, and children. That's the way it is. But now they done revoked it. You got children, women, men. You know, it's like a gumbo bullshit now. You know what I'm saying? The man don't run the house. But them brothers, they handle it like that. You know, Anton a different type guy. You know, Corey more or less, he from the Chicago side, that's what it is. Corey more or less street, Anton more or less trying to avoid that shit. But if the man stood his ground, it is what it is. A man gonna stand his ground, that's my type of guy. Win, lose, or draw. Get it in. Ain't no different than Damon Dad when he called out Jim Jones the other day. Look at homeboy. Me and you. I don't give a damn about the mother motherfuckers you got with. That's me and you. And Jim Jones showed the cavalry act in it. He showed the cavalry act. That man 50 years old, bro. You got all these muscles. And this old dude say, come holler at me one-on-one. Now you tell me what's up with that situation.
Now that was an older video though, when they was a little younger too.
I wouldn't give a damn. Damon Dad is still older than him. Yeah. You came with 2 and 3. Damon Dad stood his ground. He said, I'm gonna take this ass from what it is, but he didn't budge. That's manhood, dog. You can be scared. Damon Dad probably have a chance in the world winning that fight with that man, but he called him out. And he answered, you can't call me out, dog. You can't call me out.
Yeah, it was interesting, man. I'm glad it didn't go that way, but by Jim Jones, portraying himself as a gangster, and then when it comes time for some action, he's just mouth boxing.
Yeah, mouth boxing. You see the other guys that was with him, they back down. You can't jump on a cat like Dame Dash, man. That shit turned to a bunch of bullshit. And by the end of the day, Dame Dash wouldn't have been in it, and Jim Jones wouldn't have been in it. It would have been a bunch of other motherfuckers who would have nothing to do with it, side with another motherfucker, another clown. That's like me being in an instant. I go get my brothers, and I got something going on just because I'm scared right then and there. Okay, you 5, take this ass whooping. Everybody got their ass kicked. I done got knocked. But I have to go run and get my brothers and them about it. Let me go ahead and take up my handle this when I see it. This shit can still be going on to this day. If that shit would have went down like it went down, we see it every day. Some people just don't forgive. Some people definitely don't forget. When you're dealing with a man, and hey, like I say, everybody talk bad about Dame Dash. Everybody thinks it's about money. Sometimes you got to stand strong on your beliefs and your manhood. When somebody comes to you, you got to be a man gonna get it in. I don't give a damn how it go. I done seen Prince brothers get jumped, and bro, they still was standing, bloodied and beat. And they, at the end of the day, what they say, you don't lose no fight if you fall back. Yeah, you never lost a fight if you fall back.
Man, with real estate going on right now, man, in the market, job losses and all this going on, man, how do you view real estate right now?
Yeah, real estate is it's easy. They make it seem like it's hard. They try to get them a seminar, about all that. Man, all that shit is clown shit. I got in that game. I pimped that game. It was easy. I made it look easy. I think I bought my first house for like $700.50, some bullshit like that. Turned around and flipped for like 40. You know what I'm saying? I bought another one for like 10,000. They placed the motherfucker 84. I hadn't even touched it. You got things like this. I better do this, man. You got this like you can go to any goddamn county in the state of Illinois and they got these tax auction books. You can buy people property that went delinquent on their tax. It don't cost a lot of money. You can it don't cost a lot of money to get in real estate. The best thing about real estate with me, what I had going for me, I didn't have to go get no loans. I never had a mortgage. So I don't know nothing about that. I'm uneducated. I'm just a street cat with money. And my brother taught me how to get into it. My guy Duran taught me how to get into it. And when I bought into it, all I did was put a little time in it, man. All the things about research and knowledge. I ain't know how to sling a hammer, dog. I couldn't even hang a picture. But by the time I got to dealing with these houses, man, I got on YouTube, that motherfucker, the Einstein, everything is at your phone. I learned how to do housing. I ended up getting contract. I got so deep in it, man, that it became easy. Like I said, anybody want to know something about a goddamn house, how to purchase a house, I can do it. Just got to put time, effort. It's easy, man. I'm talking about it's easy. The process is easy. You go up there with your money. They let you know if the property ain't what you want to be. I think it's like you got like 90 days to turn it back. They'll reimburse you on the whole amount just put on. But like I say, that house, that shit was easy for me. For us to rent and all that, I never did that. I did that, but it didn't work for me. I don't have an attitude. You gonna have losses. It's like everything in life. You gonna have losses. What worked for me might not work for you. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people know it's a lot of things people are uneducated about. When you find it, like, damn, it's that simple. It's that simple. So, and when I learned it, man, I did not put a lot, bro. I ain't went to no class. I didn't have to ask nobody about it. All I had to do was help get my money up there. And when I got my money, I found out how to just go Home Depot, Lowe's, I figured all this shit out by myself, man. It's no different line to ride a bike, man. You don't need to go get nobody. You ain't got to do no group investment. I never did no group investment, nothing. Because I believe I'm the only man that can do what I do. When you fail on your own. You don't have no consequence. I recommend to everybody, if you got enough money, If you got shit, like I said, I bought my first house for $700.50. You know, come on, bro. And you can work on it as you go. You know, you got the license, the fees, and all that bull crap. But that come really easy, man. I mean, the real estate is real easy. But like I say, they done saturated the market right now. You know, you got people coming in now, man, and they done bought up everything around here, man. I mean, we don't see it, but it's here. You know, you can go through East St. Louis, you ride 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, you see white people walking around. Where the fuck are these people going? You know, I never seen this shit before. You know, ain't no selling no, you know, hoeing out here or nothing. I mean, they walking like they going to the crib. It's amazing to me. I won't even stand on the bus stop in East St. Louis or Centerville. But you know what I'm saying, that real estate, man, it's easy. It ain't even real estate, man. It's just going to buy some derelict property, man. You know, just own something. You know, a lot of people don't own nothing. You say you own a block. What you own? How you own a block? You don't own a block, you don't own shit. You know, you motherfucker got $2,000-$3,000 clothes on, you know, you catch them, goddamn it, bro. Hey, man, what's good? You stand in the apartment, laying on the motherfucking couch. But you can go down there and get you, what, $2,000 or $3,000, invest another $3 in the house, but you be laying up in that motherfucker. You just gotta know what you're looking for. The basis of getting a house in real estate, make sure the roof right, make sure the plumbing right. You can do everything else, electric and all that shit, and that shit come easy. And then it don't cost a lot of money. People get scared, you know. People looking at the $100,000, $200,000, $300,000. Man, you can go down to the black community, man. I'm talking about, man, I ain't gonna say you want to move down there, but you know, you invest in yourself, man. The best invest you got is yourself. I don't care what nobody say. You invest in yourself. Like I say, shit, what's that, 3, 4 pair of Jordans? You know what I'm saying? And you got your house. I mean, it's yours. You know, you can tear it down, you burn it up, whatever the hell you want to do.
3, 4.
Yeah. That's all it is. Yeah, that's all it is. But like I say, real estate real easy, man. And the people you go, and when you get in the game, you know, you might have, you know, Brian do roof. I got Brian for roof and AC crew. You know, I do electric. Brian might need me come through with him. You know how to do landscaping. You do landscaping. Bro, I mean, it's like a big family. But when you get in there, man, I tell you, people gonna help. And people gonna give you a lot of knowledge on. Like I said, I learned by doing. You know, but you like to say, I was just too busy, caught up doing what I'm doing. So I let my house sit 2, 3 years at a time. You know, I just pay the tax on it. But other than that, like I say, that's what I do. You know, but it's real easy, man. It's real easy. Like I say, you can go to any county in the state of Illinois, and you know, they got these auctions, every 3 months, 4 months, something like that. You can buy your property, man. You can buy it and sell it. Realtors call you. You don't got to call them. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. It's real easy, man. It's not hard. You don't need to look at no 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Go pay no damn $500 for nobody to tell you something you can do yourself. You sitting there, you come out empty like, man, this motherfucker just robbed me without a gun. You know, you don't need that seminar shit. You know, everybody can't stand Atlanta, Texas. You know, it's Illinois, winter impoverished area. You know, it's not in the great parts of the area, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's in the impoverished area. But, you know, I more or less try to buy where I'm from. You know, I'm Centerville, East St. Louis, Coke. I'm not even East St. Louis, just East Centerville and Coke. This place is my stomping ground with it. So I just try to pay for getting the area you in, because if you don't, you know, you're going to have burglary. You're going to have ups and downs. You're going to have, so the hardest thing you got to do is have dealing with code enforcers, because they really try to crack down on a lot of things. But other than that, man, that real estate, man, it's nothing, man. You know, I got deeds, baby. You know, there's money. You know, there's money in the bank. You know, you ain't got to have $1 in your pocket, but hey, I own this property.
Awesome,
you know what I'm saying, bro?
Man, so
that's what it is.
In conclusion, man, take us out of here on any more opinions or things you might want to just touch on and get off your chest right now.
I probably don't have nothing to get off of my chest, man, because I know I have no problem with people. You know, I'm more or less alone. You know, my thing is I try to encourage everybody to say you are the best. You wake up every day and say you're the best, man. You let your kids see you. You let your friends see you. One thing more important than, you know, man, your character is your paycheck, man. You make money off being, you know, your character. You know, you can't, you know, even when you go in the court system, you know, when they look at you, they be like, oh, man, you know, this guy, okay, it's nothing but a little bull crap speed ticket. You know, focus on your kids. You know, folks, we got a lot going on with these taxes, man. We ought to fight for the wrong shit. You know, I pay so much money in taxes, man, that, man, it hurts. You know, I cry. You know, I'm trying to join with a political party to get these taxes off my ass. You know, but other than that, man, be grateful for these kids, man. You be thankful for yesterday. You blessed for today, and you pray for tomorrow. You know, I don't harbor on 400-500 years ago about the slave, man. Kick that shit, man. I understand some people mean a lot to them. They don't mean nothing to me. I'm trying to worry about what's going on like later on today and what's going to happen to me tomorrow. You know, man, that's what I'm doing. And I'm trying to have direction. I'm that guy. Everybody had this. I don't know, you too young. You know, y'all probably, you know, you had this picture in every household you went to back in the day. It called footprints in the sand. You know, I got my own sand. You know, I'm leaving my footprints for me and my kids, you know, my grandkids. You know, you be an upstanding guy. You know, hey, make people like you, man. You know, but there ain't nobody gonna like you. With this YouTube shit, the least support you're gonna get is from the people that you know. All you try to do is grab them people that you don't know. You try to put something and instill something in somebody, or somebody like, oh, okay, I'm going through this. People have death every day. You know, I lost my brother, you know, my brother Bert. I have not recovered from that. You know, I lost 2 of my kids. You know, when you lose kids, man, I mean, your life altered forever. You know, I got to see my grandfather pass. You know, he take his last breath. I got to see my grandson take his last breath. So I seen the oldest person ever in my life that I love pass away, and I seen the youngest person ever in my life. You know, thing is about us as men, when you see your kids going through, or a child going through something, it hurts. You know, when you can't do something for your child, we as men, you know, as a man, I stand on man principle, period. When you see your child sick, you'll be willing to lose your job just for your child not to be sick. You tell your kid, bring that to me. Let daddy handle it. When you see your kid, when they're in a vulnerable position, you can't do nothing literally about, that hurt a man. You know what I'm saying? So I just tell people, man, be productive in life, man. Don't get caught up in this bullshit. Don't push no agendas. Don't be following like that clown show going up in Minnesota, man. Look at it, man. If you're illegal, you're illegal. You know, man, we as Americans, we've been catching hell, black, white, yellow, whatever. Man, we got our own problems. You know, you got 9, 18 billion, man. Them numbers ridiculous. And all the shit we going through down here in America with these kids, man. I'm broke. I thought I had some money. You know, I'm broke. So you tell me I can defect to Africa and get this type payment? I can go to Mexico and get this type payment? You know what I'm saying? But like I say, man, my thing is go, man, just be peaceful. And all these brothers out here running these businesses, anybody know business, LLC, whatever the hell it is, it's hard being the boss. I prefer not to be a boss. Let me work. You know, because there's a lot of shit go with the being a boss, you know, but like I said, there's a lot go behind being a boss. You got people who won't show up for work. So now you the damn plumber, the janitor, the clerk, they goddamn you everything, your inventory, you stock, you know. So being a boss, you know, it's overrated. You know, being a hustler, being all that ignorant shit, man, we got more problems going on where what's going on, some shit motherfuckers being throughout our country. You know, I'm American first, you know what I'm saying? I'm a father at best. I try to be a great man. I try to put out positive energy. Positive energy don't move too good on the internet. You know, you got to be a Charleston White. You got to have that shock value. You know, I love Charleston White. I love Anton Dane. I love Corey Holcomb. You know, at the end of the day, I love Claude Anderson. I love Joe Brown. You know, I love it. It's a lot of us didn't get a chance. Like I say, I'm 100% sole supporter of the police. Because if we didn't have the police, my child can be safe. You couldn't be safe. You know, you as a man, y'all try to tell the man, when you walk out your house, you make sure you let everybody know you love them. You know, it is what it is, because you might not come back. It's hard being a man. And me touch on this racism shit, you know, we can do a test, a trial anywhere in the world. Everybody about this racism, you know, you see somebody stand on the dock with a baby. You don't know what color this baby is. You see them throw that baby in that damn water, you're going to see a million people trying to get in that water if they can swim or not. Because race, that's called human, that's God's law. We don't champion. Puppies and babies die every day. You don't see us crying about it. So when you get in yourself in this bullshit, like I tell everybody, if you in these streets, because I had a chance to interview with a man, a millionaire. He told me, Kendrick, man, you way too intelligent what you be doing. I took it as an insult. You know what I'm saying? I took it as a very insult. You know, sometimes people see the greatness in you that you don't see in yourself. You know what I'm saying? I'm self-centered like that. You know, I believe I'm the best. There's nothing I can't do in my life. Don't no man stand on top of me. There's nothing I praise more hard than God. That's my word. I believe in what I believe in. You know, but I tell everybody like this, man, be strong in your convictions. Don't never waver in your beliefs. It is what it is. You just stay true to who you are, man. Be good to people. People ain't good to you. Everybody ain't your friend. Just cause we black don't mean we cool. Just cause you white don't think I hate you. I can disagree with you and we still be friends and drink about, talk about it. I'm not finna just say, hey, man, I don't mess with B no more. I don't mess with Kendrill no more because we're opinionated. That ain't what we do, man. Everybody entitled to their opinion. People opinion is more stronger than facts. Their feelings are more stronger than beliefs. I mean, it's just where it is. You can offend somebody. That's why I got to be careful what I say on this internet. I can't really say what I want to say. So we all liars. So we love to lie. Everybody love to lie. We love to see that lie because we're not giving our true statements and our true feelings of what's going on in this world because we don't want to offend nobody. I don't want to lose no friend. But I'm at the age now, I don't need no friends. You know what I'm saying?
You don't want to lose your job either.
I don't want to lose my job. It's affect your job. You know, you say the wrong thing that affects your job. I don't even understand what I'm doing outside my job. That what I say, what they say, we got the freedom of speech. And I'm a whole believer in that Second Amendment. I live for that. That's what I live for. About our features been suppressed, man. You know, but I tell everybody, man, be good to everybody, man. Love your kids, man. Because after a while, when they get older, they're going to leave out the house. And after a while, they used to want to listen to the radio with you. Then they used to talk to you. Now your kids don't even talk to you. When you become a man, everybody disrespect you. There's only two things in life that you need to get that can mess with you. It's called respect and disrespect. Ain't no feelings, ain't no offended. You either disrespect to be homeboy or you gonna respect me. That's just the way it is, man. People don't like that harsh truth. I can tell you a comfortable lie. I remember the politician told me this, we drinking, right? I remember this representative, right? That alcohol tell the truth. Me, him kicking it, we having a ball, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking to him, he talking to me. I'm like, oh yeah. He like, oh, Ken, you ain't got to worry about nothing. Oh yeah, I like that too. You get benefits of being a politician friend. He like, Kendrick, you promise them everything. When you get in office, you give them nothing, and they'll thank you for it. Salute. Call me Mo. Manhood over everything.
PKF Topics, man. Thumbs up, peace, salute, man.
Yeah,
Hollywood
I
K,
gotta sit
Kendrick
out.
White, Jack Cowboy Stice.
I gotta give a shout out, Brian Production. I give a shout out to Grind It Up. I'm rocking with them. Jack Stice, PFK. I really appreciate you having me here, man. And all I wishing the blessings for you and be is successful. Be successful. Success do not come without pain. You will fall, but the most important thing, get your ass back up. Salute.